submitted our bid on January 31st, 2017. If we were looking at the status of the 11 other cities that were involved, at least half of them were already halfway around the track before we entered the starting gate. So we were hugely behind.
They are a pack of coyotes, break through right out of the gates, and they have staggered the champions.
In 2016, MLS announced what could be their final expansion round. Less than a year later, Nashville, along with 11 other cities, was vying for a slot, something many considered to be a long shot.
You know, the really important thing to effectively grow a league is to have clubs in great cities with passionate fans, with terrific stadiums, and it's really important to have a strong ownership group, and it took some time for all that to come together. Nashville's bid was pretty low on the list.
But with the bid officially on the table, the committee had no time to waste.
In May, we acquired the USL franchise, which brought all the efforts trying to bring professional soccer to Nashville under the same tent, and that showed a unified front. We also announced the MLS to Nashville committee. We had CEOs from some of the biggest companies in Nashville that were enormously supportive. The honorary co-chairs were Eddie George and Lily Aldridge. Both were really interested in seeing this happen.
I'm a huge soccer fan. I thought I was going to be a professional soccer player. I didn't think I was going to be a model. I knew I was going to be on the U.S. women's team, so I felt like it was my adult journey into professional soccer that I dreamed of as a kid.
John Ingram was the gentleman that asked me to be a part of the committee. He said, "You would be a huge asset to this committee," and I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but just sign me up and I'll just smile, shake hands, and go down and do my part to the city council and say what this would mean for the growth of Nashville and how this could be a huge difference maker for our city.
The real highlight of 2017 in the bid was when Don Garber and the MLS officials came to visit. We knew that if we could get him to Nashville, things would go well, and we really wanted to get him here for the Gold Cup.
One of the largest crowds ever recorded for a soccer match here in the state of Tennessee.
47,622 fans took over Nissan Stadium to watch the U.S. take on Panama in the Gold Cup.
The success of the Gold Cup was just the start of a special weekend for the commissioner and his entourage. MLS was treated to the legendary charms of the city. It was baptism by hot chicken, impossibly good music, good people, and good food.
It was the first time that I really spent any meaningful amount of time with John Ingram. And John brought together corporate partners and city leaders and politicians and so many different people that basically said, we want Nashville to be an MLS city. They almost had us at hello.
We met at Husk downtown with Sean Henry, who leads the Predators, and Steve Underwood, who leads the Titans. And MLS was so surprised that we had the leaders of the two other professional sports teams there. They were helping us out. And there's no better statement just about how collaborative Nashville is.
The governor was involved, the mayor was involved. At one point, it became the most compelling expansion bid in the history of the league. The Nashville bid went from really the bottom of the pile on the desk to the top of the pile.
Just 3 weeks later, Nashville was again in the MLS spotlight. Manchester City versus Tottenham, a prime game in the Premier League. Would the Nashville stage be too small for the soccer royalty of England? Over 56,000 fans filled Nissan Stadium, proving once again the city would support the sport. Only one question remained. Would they also support a new stadium plan?
There were some people that were opposed to having MLS in Nashville and some people opposed to the stadium itself. We had many public events and hearings and visited Metro Council several times, but in the end there was overwhelming support and the stadium plan was approved.
The fact that we were able to work and create a stadium plan and get Metro Council to approve it in the short amount of time that we did is really a tribute to the fact that the private sector and the public sector can come together to do amazing things.
At that point, we had fulfilled everything that Major League Soccer needed to see. And they invited 4 of us, Cincinnati, Sacramento, Detroit, and Nashville, to come to New York and pitch to the expansion committee. That was exciting. We pitched to the commissioner and some of the other league officials that were there, spent a couple hours with them, and after that it was a waiting game.
It is such a great pleasure to be with you here at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum for this historic day for the state of Tennessee and the city of Nashville, and for the sport of soccer in America. The success of our league, which has continued to soar over the last decade, is driven by innovative and dedicated ownership, by world-class soccer stadiums, by visionary management, and culturally diverse communities with a true passion for the game. So, I'm here today to announce that Nashville will be Major League Soccer's 24th team.
The commissioner had asked, would we accept the club, and I think I probably said something like, "Damn right we accept it." I think I may have cursed or something.
This had gone from something that we thought was, at best, laying the foundation for Nashville to get a team far in the future, to us being the first team awarded an expansion team.
People are screaming, crying, kissing babies. They're doing their little chants. The energy was high. It was crazy. And it's something I'll never forget.
We really were the underdogs. Nobody thought we had a shot. We were like the last on the list. And then slowly but surely, we started climbing our way up and proving that we were the ones to beat. And sure enough, here we are.
On the next Dream Together.
For a very long time, we had a team called the Nashville Metros. When they went under, it left a void in the Nashville soccer community. And so Chris Jones, in that void, stepped up and said, hey, what if we as a community all came together and created a community club?
Kind of just figured, what the heck? You know, let's give this a shot. Let's see what we're capable of. Let's see what the city's capable of.
Long before MLS ever announced an expansion, a grassroots movement was growing in Nashville.